Welcome back to the Roger Sarn podcast where we talk all things Army. And I'm your host, Sarn Cruz. And today we're talking troop leading procedures. And without further ado, let's get
Roger Sarn!
All right, guys, welcome back. As I already said, we're talking troop leading procedures. Real fast, let's go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, do all that cool stuff with the YouTube. If you're listening on the podcast, go ahead and leave a review and a download. Today's shout out is going out to Arias Colbert. And the comment is, "Thank you, Sergeant. Currently on tour. This helps out a lot." And this is in reference to a video that I made to saving money as a specialist. I'll link that video up here. Go ahead and watch that. It's a lot of financial advice that I'm giving out on Friday. So go ahead and watch that. All right, let's get right into it, right? So what we're talking is troop leading procedures and how you can use them in the Army. The thing that you don't know is how to apply them if you have a small business or if you have a business in which you have a small team. And I'm going to show you. First, we're going to do an example of how to use it in the military, right? Because that's the primary goal. But we're also going to talk about how to use them on your small business because at the end of the day, it's all the same, right? It's all about structure. So let's go over the agenda, troop leading procedures. I'm going to just mention real quick what they are. And then we'll give you the example in the military, example for your business, and then we'll wrap it up. All right. All right. So first thing I want you guys to understand that the troop leading procedures, they're just a systematic way to approach an operation. It's nothing more than an 8-step training model mentality. Just give you the framework and you just plug and play. And depending on where you are in the process, that's where you pick up at. It's mainly used for tactical situations, but you can use them for any task at hand. And mainly for, like I said, for military purposes, but I'm going to show you how to use them for, what are those called? For your business. All right. So the 8 steps are: receive the mission, issue a warning order, make a tentative plan, initiate movement, conduct a reconnaissance or recon, complete the plan, then you have issue the order, and then you have supervise and refine, right? And when you're at supervise and refine, that's when you know that you are almost done because you're watching what your plan came to fruition and you're moving forward. So example from a military perspective, what it is to receive the mission. So a battalion is charged, pick your whatever battalion, say it's your battalion. A battalion is charged with a mission, and that mission is going to happen 14 days from today. Boom, you just received the mission. You can receive the mission anyway, right? The next step is going to be step 2 is issue a warning order. And when you issue a warning order, the brigade allows you to, that light is too much. So when you issue a warning order, the brigade will issue you a tentative warning order. So it can be by verbal, it can be email, it can be whichever way it is because it's tentative and it's just letting you know so you can start getting those wheels moving. And that's going to allow the brigade is going to issue it down to the battalion. That's going to allow the battalion to do their planning. And if you've heard of the 1/3, 2/3 rule, which is the 1/3 is I'm planning at the brigade level, and then I'm going to give you the 2/3 of the time to plan at the battalion level because you need more time than I do because you're moving your task with the actual mission. And then the battalion can either plan together or they can plan in separate elements, i.e., when they do their combined arms rehearsal, that's when they're going to rehearse together. But in the meantime, each element or troop battery, whatever you want to call it, they're going to do their own planning and then they'll come together. And then once that's done, they're going to issue a standard 5-paragraph format for clarity. So that way everyone's on the same page. Because that's one thing about it. And I'm pretty sure you guys already know this, that it doesn't matter how you can be in the same office with someone. And as soon as you leave that office and they relay that message, it can get lost in translation. So this is going to avoid all of that. So step 3, you're going to make a tentative plan. So at this point is where the battalion staff, they conduct their military decision-making process, and that's going to be to make the tentative plan, also known as the MDMP, right? They're going to get into, it's called the MA, mission analysis, courses of action. They're typically the commander is going to want at least 3 courses of action, right? They're going to want 3 courses of action because when they move into the next step, which is the wargaming, and that's when they get troubleshot, and then they're gonna pick in order of effectiveness which COA, as they would say, course of action, is it that they're going to go with, and if that doesn't work, then they'll have plan B and C. They'll do their risk assessment, and then they're going to develop the commander's initial intent. And just for you guys who have never done anything with the MDMP or just never been part of a brief, if there's not one thing you listen to, you're going to listen to what the commander's intent is. Because if you know what the commander's intent is, as a leader, you'll be able to finagle your way into a mission or get out of a mission, get out of the mission what you need. Step 4 is going to be initiate movement. This part involves all elements to a particular, it drives the particular element to a staging area to consolidate and maintain the resources and personnel. So if the mission is going to be, you're going to fly somewhere, then obviously they're going to take you to the port terminal, and you guys are going to consolidate there. If the mission is by land and it's a convoy, then you guys are all going to rally in a certain area, and then you guys are going to stage there and get ready to go out. All right. So step 5, that's going to be conduct the reconnaissance. At that point, you're going to deploy your small teams for the intelligent reports, right? Typically your scouts or stuff like that, your ADs. This is where you get all your information. And you can either, I don't know, you can do this if you want to use drones, UAVs. Sometimes can be done maps. It can be done multiple different ways, but the point is, how in depth is the mission in order for you to use a course of action for the recon that you're going to go after. Number 6 is complete the plan. So this gets done after you do your recon, right? And the reason why this gets done after you do your recon is if the recon reveals that you have more enemies than reported, then what are you going to do? You're going to adjust fire, and you're going to send more troops out there. So we like to battle 4-1, 5-1, whatever the ratio is that we like to battle, we like to dominate. So if there's 1,000, we're sending 4,000. If there's 100, we're sending 400, right? And on the flip side of that, if there's less troops than expected, then the firepower can be adjusted, right? So instead of using maybe close air support or something like that, you'll downgrade to like a rotary wing asset or something like that. So it can be used for if you have more than expected, then you plan that way, or if you have less enemy than expected, then you plan accordingly. Step 7, that's going to be issue the order. So brigade at this point, they're going to issue the 5-paragraph format, and they're going to provide all the necessary information. And if you've ever been part of or have read an op order, an official one, you know it can be 30 pages long, right? Because it's the 5 paragraphs, and depending on how big the operation is, each element has its marching orders. And like for me, I'm medical, so I'm scrolling all the way down until I reach my area, right? The support. And then I'm going to extract everything I need. I'm going to read all the other elements so I can see where is it that all my elements are. Because at the brigade level, I'm planning. So I have to know where is it that my row 1s are in order for me to get those supply trains out there with them, or their class 8. So they can get their class 8 resupply whenever they need it. Also know where the AXPs are going to be in order to make that travel distance a lot less for those row 1s, and a lot less for those troops in the flot. So this is where I focus at. I go down to my area and get my marching orders. However, I still need to read and have a general idea of where my row 1s are going to be placed at. And then the last step is going to be supervise and refine. And this is where your battalion is going to they're going to do their back briefs, they're going to do their rehearsals, and they're going to do their pre-combat inspections. Remember, I told you that, right? So that's how you would use it It's an example in the military. Now, let's go to another example for our entrepreneurs or those who want to be entrepreneurs, have a business plan already up and running and want to, let's say for this example, you want to make shirts for your business, right? Because they have a business to be profitable. And let's say your merch is coffee cups, shirts, hats, whatever it is, or that's just a side hustle that you're trying to pull up within your business, then this is a way that you can do it. So let's say, for instance, you are wanting to make shirts. The receipt of the mission is you telling your employees, let's say you have a few, right? But you have the ones that you need. You have your marketing guy, you have your business partner. So you're going to let them know that you want to make shirts, right, for your business, and you want them done by the end of the month. And you want them to start now. Essentially, they have received the mission, right? You want shirts, you let them know what their deadline is and when they need to start. Mission has been received. Now, step 2 would be issue a warning order. So you've technically issued a warning order at this point, but you're going to email your company and let them know, or email all your employees or your business partners, whatever you want to call them. You're going to email them because you don't want them to forget, because word of mouth, people forget. And you're going to let them know what you want, which is the shirts, and the shirts are to market your business, and it's due by the end of the month. Now you've issued what's called the warning. So now you're going to make a tentative plan, step 3. So you're going to take the next couple of days and you're going to take it for planning. You're going to either do this alone if you're a solo entrepreneur, or if you have your partners, if you have individuals that you are together in business, then you're going to talk about it and be like, hey, I want ideas. So this is where you're going to get all your ideas. I want some sketches, and I want some calculation of the cost, right? So within the plan, what you're doing essentially is you're going to know how much money you're going to have to dish out. You're going to get some ideas of how you're going to sketch it out, like what the designs are going to be, because at the end of the day, you want a few designs. And then you're going to gather all the ideas together, and then you're going to come up with a first COA, second COA, third COA, right? Because at the end of the day, you're just doing MTMP at this point. Step 4, you're going to initiate movement. Now, how do you initiate movement in a business? You call suppliers and you order samples. That's kind of like you staging, right? And this is going to start your momentum, because at the end of the day, when you come up with an idea, and if you don't put it in motion, you will get complacent and you're not going to do it. So you call the manufacturer of whoever you deal with, and you're going to let them know, hey, I want these shirts and I want a couple of examples. Here are my 3 ideas that I have. And you got those ideas when you were making a tentative plan and you were gathering ideas and sketches. Step 5, you're going to do a recon. Now, how do you do a recon in a business? Easy. All you're going to do is you're going to visit the printing company. You're going to talk to the business owners. And then at the same time, once you have those shirts, you're going to talk to people that are in there, or people that are when you're walking around, and you're going to be like, hey, what do you think about this shirt? Does this shirt grab your attention for what the idea is that you have, which is to market your business? Would you wear this shirt? You're going to get the general consensus and write it down, because you're marketing it. So you want to get feedback from the individual that could potentially be purchasing, and it creates awareness. So step number 6 is going to be complete the plan. So once you've done everything that you need to up until this point, you're going to finalize the marketing strategy. You're going to check out what your storage options are and what your release date is, which is when? End of the month, right? Step 7 is going to be issue the order. And here at this point, you're going to call a meeting and have your partners, and you guys are going to publish the plan. And you're going to talk about release dates. You're going to talk about what your marketing strategy is. And this is going to keep everyone privy to the plan of what's going on. Because like I told you previously, you can have a meeting, and if people don't write it down, if it's not in an email, if it's not on a calendar, they're going to forget, and it's going to get set to the side. and then it's not going to be a priority. And then the next thing, you're going to also want to ensure you track the accomplishment of each goal. So every step should have a ticker, be done by a certain date in order for you to make sure that you're on track. Now, a thing that I want you to understand is storage space. You don't have to have a big storage area. You can put that thing in an extra room. So once you have scaled your business to a point that you're going to need storage space, then yeah. But if you're kind of like small and you're still operating under the LLC and you're not at the S corp, which is making 50 grand or more, then just store things in your garage. I wouldn't go too far. And then the last thing, which is where you want to be at, which is to supervise and refine. And this is where you know that you've completed every step that you need to do. You've launched, and what you want to do is you want to make any necessary adjustments over the next couple of weeks. You want to make sure that sales are going good, the marketing is going good. If you don't have enough sizes, you want to make sure that you understand that for the next launch or for the next time, or order more sizes, because typically people go small, medium, large, or go medium, large, XL and forget about the smalls. Yeah, that's where you make your necessary adjustments. So in conclusion, I want you guys to understand that troop leading procedures are not complicated. You've been studying this, especially if you're Joe. You've been told about this, you've been using this, you've been studying it for the board for years, and all you're doing now is understanding it at a higher level. This is why I didn't tell you what each step is and what you're supposed to do by definition. I gave you an example so I can put it into perspective, right? So as mentioned before, you're going to use it as the 8-step training model for your operations. It's just a skeleton that you fill in the blanks. You can use it for your military purpose. And just like I showed you, you can use it for your business. For all my young entrepreneurs, even old entrepreneurs, for all my entrepreneurs or people who are doing entrepreneurship, this is not a bad idea to use it until you've come to a point that you don't need it. Let's say, for instance, you don't know where you are at this point. You don't know where to start. Then start here. Use this. All right. So I just want you to understand that it provides a structural format for a desired outcome. All right, guys. So that's it. I'm off my soapbox. I appreciate you guys listening. Do everything on the socials, like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, go ahead and email me at rogersarn@gmail.com. Follow me on all my social medias, or just go to my link tree and just click on that. It's all Roger Sarn. Remember, you don't have to embrace the suck if you got the right tools in your ruck. I'm Sarn Cruz, and I'm out. Peace.
Roger Sarn!